Good afternoon, brothers and sisters. Interesting one today. The history of hybrid and the times of Noah. The times of Noah we are in. So what exactly does that mean? Or what can we see on the ground today that tells us we are definitely in the times of Noah? So what was it like in the times of Noah before the flood, according to the Bible? And we look at Genesis 6:1 through to 8. And it came to pass, when men began to multiply on the face of the earth, and daughters were born unto them, that the sons of God saw the daughters. The sons of God, by the way, the fallen angels, saw the daughters of men, that they were fair, and they took them wives, and all which they chose. And the Lord said, My spirit shall not always strive with man, for that he is also is with flesh, yet his days shall be 120 years. Genesis 6:4, there were giants in the earth in those days, and also after that, when the sons of God, fallen angels, came unto the daughters of men, and they bare children to them, the same became mighty men which were of old, men of renown. People seem to forget this. I know you guys don't, those that watch this channel. People forget the giants. How did they get back in? Well, we have an explanation. How did they get in after the flood? Man. That's how they got back in. We'll go into it. In Genesis 6:5, and God saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. That's us. That's us. And it repented the Lord that he had made man on the earth, and it grieved him at his heart. We done so bad since Noah. Since Noah. And before Noah. In Genesis 6:7, and the Lord said, I will destroy man, whom I have created from the face of the earth, both man and beast, and the creeping thing, and the fowls of the air, for it repenteth me that I have made them. But Noah found grace in the eyes of the Lord. Noah was of clean gene, and his family. Probably the last, if the only one left, the remnant. But we grieved him through listening to the enemy. The enemy will tempt us, will destroy us if we listen, if we keep doing the things that the enemy wants us to do. Ask the Spirit, rightfully divide and turn instantly from the things you know are wrong. This would suggest to me that it was because Noah and his family had not intermingled with fallen angels, and therefore was considered by God as a right man for the job. Okay? You would think that worldwide flood would get mankind's attention to never commit these things of wicked behaviours again that grieved the heart of God. Yet approximately 900 years after the flood of Noah, God was already once again warning mankind of the dangers of creating the hybrid and mixing life forms together. We were doing it again. Not only had it destroyed the planet and destroyed it all, we listened and we did it. We did it. We see this in the book of Leviticus 19:19, where he's warning them again. Leviticus 19:19, ye shall keep my statutes. Thou shalt not let thy cattle gender with a diverse kind. Thou shalt not sow thy field with mingled seed. Neither shall a garment mingled of linen and woolen come upon thee. Not once but twice God reiterated the command that you shall not mix together or intermingle two different kinds of life forms. Again, only 900 years after the flood, he also mentioned this warning here. Deuteronomy 22:9, thou shalt not sow thy vineyard with diverse seeds, lest the fruit of thy seed, which thou hast sown, the fruit of thy vineyard, be defiled. The phrase two kinds used with the seed is translated from Kiliam, which means translated two things of different kinds. We do not mingle two things of different kinds. It was the biggest question is how did the fallen angels get through the flood? We know they don't die. They don't die. They influence man to do things. Man crossed the genes the second time after Noah. History of this unfortunate repeat of wicked behaviour, threat God forbids. This intermingling of life forms of what's known today as genetic engineering. We are at it today more than it ever was back in Leviticus days or Genesis days. We're at it now. We can see it. That's why we're in the end times. We can see it more than it's ever been. Ever been. Genesis 6:19. And of every living thing of all flesh, 2 of every sort shalt thou bring into the ark to keep them alive with thee. They shall be male and female. They were the instructions of what went on the ark. Not sure of exactly what went on the ark, but everything else is crossbreed and hybrid. Or cattle are hybrid, everything. This reference to Genesis 6:9 makes it clear, and the future warnings in Leviticus 19:19 and Deuteronomy 20:29 that we would be punished simply because God cannot let it continue. He cannot let the intermingling of his creation. He created it perfectly for the benefit of mankind, even after the fall. And we're still doing it. More so. Right now, and more so by the day men are corrupting God's creation. By the day, in 1773 to 1858, Robert Brown discovered the nucleus in the cells. 1802, the word biology first appears in science and took over. Today, it is common practice to intermingle animal, plant and human DNA. We can see it in science. We can see it in front of us. You know, wealthy are buying farmlands for one reason, profit. They will GMO food. They will intermingle food. We've been doing it in agriculture and fat stock for a very, very long time. Protendering cattle, protein, and softening the meats and injecting them with this and that and the other. Our food sources are genetically modified. Our livestock are interbred with other varieties. We are given medicines without suggested mixes, DNA sources, and much, much more, brothers and sisters. More so now than ever before in the time since Noah. For that reason alone, we are firmly in the end times, are in the days of Noah. For that alone, without a timeline, which we're going to use the timeline. There's a lot of relevance in there to do, and I'm working on that in the background. I'm confident that the timeline of Noah has a significant prophetic meaning to the end days, and we'll continue to work on it. That was my note. But brothers and sisters, we can see it. It's here. It's right before our very eyes. We know we've got a high watch. We know we've got things coming along now. We're in Hanukkah, which is a very significant festival. It is very significant. We're watching for 4th December eclipse. We're watching for the peace treaty that's getting made to divide peace treaty and the division of Israel. We're watching all these things. I will try and bring them out to you. Pray that I have time. And just to finish, I just want to say, may God bless you, keep you, make his face to shine upon you, and be gracious to you this day and always. God bless.